Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Waves 7 and 8 of NASCAR Authentics for 2016. If you haven't taken a look at my rest of my videos, I've already taken a look at the rest of the waves of 2016 thus far. I've been doing them in pairs, so I did Wave 1 and 2, Waves 3 and 4, Waves 5 and 6, and now Waves 7 and 8. The last one will probably be a 3-peat because they went to 11 waves, so I'll probably just do 9, 10, 11, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But today we have Waves 7 and 8. And man, was this a major step up from the very disappointing Waves 5 and 6. Wave 5 was really just the worst wave, I think, of the year, and Wave 6 wasn't terrible, but it was really just pretty boring of a wave, especially when compared to these last 5 waves, because they really seemed to step up their game for the last 5 waves. So, take a quick look at the packaging. Here we have one from Wave 7, Ryan Blaney's number 21 Motorcraft. Same packaging as always. But we also have some of these NHRA funny cars from Wave 8. You see, they are actually branching out into other types of racing series for this line, which is a very nice touch, which these two are the only two that they've released so far that haven't been NASCAR, so hopefully they release more. This one actually is a little different. You see, on the top, it has the NHRA, like, lights, NHRA in the corner, John Force Racing, just says John Force Racing, not the driver, Lionel NASCAR, or Lionel Racing, I mean, up in the top corner. But you see, it doesn't actually say NASCAR Authentics, it is just NHRA. Surprised they didn't call it NHRA Authentics, but whatever. So, a little bit of a different packaging change for the different types of racing series. That's a nice touch. Hopefully we can get more. But let's just jump right into it. First up, we'll take a look at Kyle Busch's Skittles Toyota. This was the paint scheme he won with in the Brickyard 400 for 2 years straight now. It's a pretty nice paint scheme. It's got the Skittles colors, simple, has some of the rainbow design. I like it. Would have liked maybe a little bit more, maybe some like Skittles down the side or something, but it's pretty simple and clean and looks pretty nice. Race the rainbow, taste the rainbow. Kyle Busch needs to learn how to taste the rainbow. One interesting thing that I've always kind of thought was kind of hilarious on these Kyle Busch cars is there's an Interstate Batteries logo on the quarter panel and on the rear panel. So they have like different Interstate Batteries logos in every car really close to each other, which always look weird to me. This one you see does not have NOS on the back of the C-post. I don't think they've released any of those 64s with NOS. Like I said, there's a few with Monster for a while, but I don't think they've ever released any with NOS. Looks like it's the little bit of a flaw right there. You see like the rainbow's a little messed up as it gets up to the B-post on that side. Like I said, not a bad paint scheme. Nice choice. See, interestingly enough, the back of the spoiler is red and the front of the spoiler is black. I think that is accurate, but that's kind of funny. You don't usually see that on the 164s. So, nice choice. Solid car. Next up, we got another Toyota. We got Martin Truex Jr.'s Bass Pro Shops Toyota. This is the paint scheme that he almost won with in the Daytona 500 of 2016. I'm sure somebody's thinking right now, but I thought he did win in the Coca-Cola 600. Yes, he did win with Bass Pro Shops, but not this paint scheme. We'll get to that. They actually released a Coca-Cola 600 race win in a later wave, but they actually did change the paint scheme at the Coke 600 and kept that for the rest of the year, so this was basically only the first half of the year paint scheme. They added more black to the other one. I like this paint scheme a little bit better. It had a little bit more of a flow to it. You know, you have the yellow line, which I wish kind of continued on to like the front a little bit more, but had the yellow line, and had the black with the yellow highlights and the camo. I've always loved these orange and black and camo Bass Pro Shops cars. Though Tony's are always kind of lame. Pretty nice car. Got a little bit of a weird, like, string decal looking thing on the side here. Not sure what that's from, but oh well. I'm just glad this 78 car is something other than the plain black Furnish Row car for a change those last couple years. Next up, we've got Kevin Harvick's Mobil 1 Chevy that he raced at Pocono. See, it was basically the same as the Tony Stewart, but they swapped the colors around, where Tony Stewart's had a red wing with a blue side. This one has a blue wing with a red, like, edge. I do like when they do that, you know. There's some teams do it, some teams don't. Like, say, with the Penske Auto Trader cars, they're the exact same car on both cars, or same color, same everything, where this one actually did kind of change the colors a little bit. I'm not sure which one I like more. I do think the red wing almost looks better than the blue wing, but the blue wing is very, very nice, too, so I kind of go back and forth which one I like better. Obviously no Busch logo on the side. That's where that big blank spot would be a Busch logo right there on the real car. Does have Jimmy John's on the roof. I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't release Danica's. Surprised I'm saying we didn't get a Danica car, but it would have been nice to get both Harvick's, Tony's, and Danica's. Danica's was silver with the silver wing on the side. kind of nice to have a set of them, so it's a shame we didn't get Danigas. I was really expecting to get Danigas, because they said they released Tony's in Wave, what was that, 4, then they released this one in Wave 7, so who knows. Next up we've got Brad Keselowski's Alliance Truck Parts Ford. He raced this a few times for the last couple years. This has always been one of my favorite color combinations in the scallops. Just the black with the bright yellow just looks fantastic. I actually have the 2015 diecast of this paint scheme. I never got the 2016, but sooner or later I'll probably get it. It actually did get canceled in 2017. So that's the paint scheme everyone knows by now, but it does look very, very nice in this color paint scheme. The black cars with the colors look like some of the best for the scalp car, though you can never hate on the beautiful yellow and red Shell Pennzoil regular version of it. So he also ran a separate Alliance Truck Parts paint scheme in the Chase. If you remember, they changed his Miller Lite paint scheme for the Chase, had a completely different design, and it actually did transfer over to the Worth and Alliance Truck Parts cars, which was a nice touch. But we didn't get diecast of any of them. I would really like that Alliance Truck Parts because it would have been cool to have one with the other. They actually did offer the Miller Lite car, but it didn't get made. And then they screwed up, though. They didn't offer the Worth car or the Alliance Truck Parts, but then they offered the Worth car of this year, and they actually gave it, like, the render was the Chase designer last year. It looked like they were going to update it. And then, like, this week of recording this video, a picture was taken in Penske of the Auto Club car for Worth. And guess what? It's the Scallop car. It's not the Chase car. So Lionel might have gotten boned out of that. But next up we have another sort of Penske car. We have Ryan Blaney's Motorcraft Quick Lane Wood Brothers machine. And this was a fantastic choice. I'm really glad we got this in the retail line. That I even got one sealed because I love this car. Who doesn't love the Wood Brothers and their retro throwback looking paint scheme? This is a rookie car. I always think we should get all rookie cars in these. Like, they should have released every single rookie car they can. Like, I really hope we get Daniel Suarez's this year. Maybe Eric, or we won't get Eric Jones. Maybe we will. We won't get Eric Jones if it's the Fiber Energy car, but we might get one of the other ones. Like, he has a Sirius car and a Sports Clips car, and, you know, hopefully we get something. See, the front end is a little bit wonky with the design. That's a shame, but I absolutely love the Wood Brothers colors. I'm glad they've come back to this paint scheme and have kept it now since 2011. Well, it's changed a little bit. There was a little bit more. There's a red stripe at the bottom for a couple years, but very nice paint scheme. There's the rookie stripes on the back and everything. Excellent choice by Lionel. Next up, we have to finish off with the obligatory Hendrick cars and junior cars of the wave. But first, we'll take a look at Chase Elliott's 3M car. See, we actually were getting pretty much every Chase Elliott car, except for the, I guess, patriotic Napa car, because we got the Napa car in Wave, I guess that was 4. Then in Wave 6, we got the Kelly Blue Book. We got this 3M car. And a couple waves later, we get the Sun Energy car. So they really went all out. And we got the Mountain Dew cars, as you can see right there. So I think we only didn't get the patriotic Napa car. And we got the throwback. Basically, if I had to say something, don't buy any Chase Elliott and or Dale Jr. cars in the Gold Series until the end of the year. See what they release first, because they pretty much are going to shove as many of these cars down our throats as they can. I think we even got there's the Chase for the Sprint Cup, like yellow banners and stuff, Napa car that they released in Wave 2 of 2017. So, like I said, I think the only one they didn't release is the patriotic Napa car for some reason. This paint scheme was pretty nice. The red numbers on the side were an interesting choice because they do kind of blend in too much, but I think they would have done, I don't know. But that's really what they could have done, like with the design, because the white numbers would have blended in. The black numbers probably would have blended in, so I don't know what they could have done. I do like that they went back to the regular 3M colors instead of Gordon's weird silver 3M car. I never really liked that. The silver was kind of nice, but it didn't really fit the colors and had the stupid big white 3M circle on the hood. But this was an okay paint scheme. I don't really like how it just kind of cut off at the back here to put 3M there. Would have rather, maybe if they did the black around the entire roof, would have looked better. But nice paint scheme. There are the rookie stripes. Excellent choice. And last but not least for Wave 7, whoops, hit the camera. Last but not least for Wave 7, we've got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Exalta Chevrolet. For some reason, they went to Dale Jr. instead of staying with Chase Elliott, but I guess that's because they had to, Napa kind of kicks them out. And now we have the totally not throwback car. This one was like, it's, you know, it doesn't really work. This is clearly, if you don't know, I don't actually have 1/64 of it, but this is clearly his Oreo Ritz paint scheme from 2003. It's the exact same design. A bunch of red with fades into the yellow at the bottom. Like, this is literally, you have this next to each other, you could call it a throwback. And Dale Jr.'s like, oh, nope, just a coincidence. Totally not a throwback. Though, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's not a terrible paint scheme or anything. It looks decent, but it's just, I don't know how you can make it exactly like an older car of yours and not consider it anything but a coincidence. Now, this year's Exalted car, damn, that thing is neon. But if you are a Jeff Gordon fan, this is another car you definitely want to pick up, because Jeff Gordon did race both the Nationwide car and this Exalted car. So, I mean, some people are like, and yes, once again, Jeff Gordon's name was not on the name rail or on the side. It did say Dale Jr., so any of the people saying, like, they don't want it because it doesn't say Jeff Gordon's name on it, you're lying to yourself. I mean, yes, there were some little differences. Like, I'm sure Jeff Gordon's had a different sponsor on the roof or the deck lid because they switched that a lot. But if you're a Jeff Gordon fan, pick up the Dale Jr. cars, especially the Gray Ghost. Very nice car. But so, I don't mind some of Dale Jr.'s paint schemes. They're just annoying that we have to like get either a Dale Jr. car or a Chase Elliott car or both in every single wave, it seems like. Why don't we just get those out of the way right away? Now, this one doesn't bother me as much. You see, we have all three of the Decision cars. At Richmond in the spring, they ran this, like, Decision program where, you know, you could vote on which flavor if you wanted Pitch Black or Baja Blast. I believe Pitch Black won, if I'm not mistaken. You had Chase Elliott in the Baja Blast car, Casey K in the Pitch Black car, and you had Dale Jr. in the Decision car. You see, on one side it said Baja Blast, and on the other side it said Pitch Black. I'm definitely glad they got all these out of the way at once, because, you know, I was wondering that. I'm like, if they're going to release them, they have to release all three. That's the only way you can do this. I purposely didn't buy these on the Gold Series, because I was like, I know they're going to get released in Authentic. There's even a hauler for the set, if you want a display piece. The colors are nice, but I just didn't. These designs were just kind of disappointing. Like, the way it just, like, stops randomly for the sponsor that has to fit there, and then goes again and then stops again. It just, nah. I don't know. And they, of course, have that stupid A-post thing. You know, Hendrick's totally not cheating with the split color A-post. When I found out, I guess that's literally because NASCAR doesn't want you to have a seam there, because it is like an aero advantage some way, shape, or form. So Hendrick, like, you know, splits the A-post there, like, color-wise. So it's like, oh, look, it's just the paint scheme. Nothing to see here. They do it on most of their cars. It looks terrible on most. I've never seen a car like it on. But why don't we just get down into the review and forget about that for now? I do like how this one actually does have the, like, you know, kind of tornado purple. You see, they just have the black with the logos. And these numbers look terrible on track. You could not even tell. You could not read the numbers half the time. Which I don't mind when a number, you can't read it if it still looks good on the car. But these are just like, there was no reason to put. So they could just put white numbers and it will look 10 times better. These all do have the neon green splitter, which, you know, is a little bit wonky on this car, which they're mostly wonky. See, this one actually has a piece of the decal folded up. Nothing you can do about that. Like I said, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pitch Black did win this thing. So if you want the winning car, you can get that. The black with the purple look pretty nice. I've always kind of found it funny that Pitch Black isn't black. It's purple. But whatever. Pretty nice car. If only Casey King could do something in it. Here we have Chase Elliott's Baja Blast car. I definitely like Dale Jr.'s Baja Blast car from 2015 better than this one from 2016. But the black with the, like, turquoise color that Baja Blast has was a very nice touch. This one makes the most sense with the design ending, because you kind of design, it ends with, like, the same slant as the Napa logo has. So they get a couple props there. That's kind of clever, but. And, you know, once again, Napa didn't have to put their logo in blue. So, not bad. And last but not least, we have the Citizen Decision car, Dale Earnhardt Jr. I will say it was a kind of a funny commercial where they were both, like, bribing Dale Jr. with, like, doing things for him for the whole Decision thing. But it was kind of cool that it had Pitch Black on one side and Baja Blast on the other side. Really, I just like any cars that are actually different on both sides, because you know how rare that is in this day and age. The black and the green always look good for Mountain Dew cars. I wish they would always stay with the black and the green. You know, come to think of it, we haven't actually seen Dale Jr.'s Mountain Dew car this year, have we? We've seen the Nationwide car, we've seen the Exalted car, but yeah, I don't think we've seen the Mountain Dew car yet. Wonder what new paint scheme will pop up. Probably worth noting that all these do have the NASCAR green logo on the A-post. This was in that race. It's funny, when these initially came out, like if you find the prototypes of these cars, they actually have the green windshield banner too, that they ran for a few years, but for some reason they stopped doing that this year, so luckily Lionel corrected that before the diecast came out. I mean, that did run in 2014 and 15, but not in 16. Like, if you remember that Joey Logano Richmond we took a look at a long time ago, that one had the green banner. But now let's get into the rest of the cars. Here we have Jamie McMurray's McDonald Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. The car that David Land doesn't like, but I do like. I mean, I don't like that they screwed it up. Because you're probably thinking to yourself right now, man, it looks like the regular McDonald's cars, what's the issue? But this car in real life had a deep metallic red color to it, not this regular McDonald's red. It looked fantastic on track. Like, I love that car. I was going to buy the 124 of it, and then the car came out, and I'm like, oh, nope, not buying that anymore. It doesn't look terrible, because like I said, it's still McDonald's color, so it looks fine as a diecast, but if you really are an accuracy buff like me, you definitely can tell that it's not right. The metallic looks so much better. Now this year in 2017, the car is the regular McDonald's red, but is in a matte finish, so see if they get it right this time. Yeah, it'll probably be metallic now that it's not metallic anymore. But I think this design's kind of cool. The red into the black, the yellow. Which, yeah, by the way, David Land, this has nothing to do with Cessna. I remember that in his video. He was saying that like the black had to get in there for Cessna. This was all McDonald's. The Cessna had nothing to do with this. Cessna's color's now purple and white now, so I have no problem with this paint scheme, but some people do. I guess that's just how opinions work sometimes. Definitely glad to get the McDonald's car in the line, though. Next up, we have Matt Kenseth's DeWalt Tools car. What were they thinking with this car? This was like the original. This was like for July in 2015. You know, it was the patriotic car. That's all fine and dandy. It's not that bad of a patriotic car. But why did they keep the patriotic car as the standard? Like, that's really strange. I mean, they did kind of replace it for the second half of the year whenever there's a DeWalt car. It was that DeWalt FlexVolt car, which looked really awesome. For some reason, never got offered. It was like the car with like the black and the yellow and the lightning bolts, and it looked cool. Interestingly enough, you want one of those late season changes, you can see that on the bottom of the C-post there, if it's full focus, that is Sun Energy. But if you remember, Sun Energy actually moved to Hendrick this year. So they were never on the Joe Gibbs car this year. They were on the Hendrick machines and in the Junior Motorsports Xfinity Series cars. And the one thing I'm glad Dollar General's gone now is because of this stupid... They had to, you know, make the different colored bumpers on their cars, which looked completely asinine. Nothing looked as bad as that Home Depot car, though. The red Home Depot car with the bright yellow Dollar General bumper. For, what was that, Husky Tools, I think? Made in the USA. I do like that they still kept that kind of carbon fiber type pattern on the hood. But, said, not a bad paint scheme. I'm glad we got it, because if I'm not mistaken, it did get canceled or not offered in 2015, so we actually did get a diecast of it, which is nice, but... don't keep patriotic cars as the standard. Talking to you too, Petty. Next up, we got one of the best looking paint schemes of the year. We have Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s Sunny D car. He races a few times throughout the year. Had a really weird one at Charlotte with pink numbers for breast cancer awareness, but on this car it looked stupid. But I guess it's so neon that most people probably didn't even notice it. Said I do have a 124 of this, and I think I did review that. So if you want a full review of this car, you can check that out. But I just love this car. It's so bright, so neon, such a nice design. Has the sunburst with the orange, and I love this car. Now, there's one thing that's always pissed me off. I don't like when they go over the, like, there's that little, like, piece there in the back of the Forge for a logo, but Ford, especially Roush, seems to like to go over it. Like, there's another Ford. Like that. See? It's big enough that you can fit your logo in there if you want to, but I don't know. I've never liked when they do it like this. Most teams follow it, but Roush doesn't seem to. And it also oftentimes looks stupid on the diecast because, you know, it ends up, like, not fitting right or and being, like, warped. Especially if you look at it from, like, that angle, it looks stupid, but they do a pretty nice job of recreating it. And like I said, it is accurate, so you can't really complain too much, but a very nice paint scheme. And last but not least, let's get to, of course, the funny cars. A couple cars from John Force Racing. Got John Force's Peak car and Courtney Force Traxxas car. Here's the Peak car. Interesting enough, these actually have rubber tires. So, rubber tires in a retail like NASCAR racing line is a incredible feat. On the downside, this is on the PTC mold, so it's got a lot of little flaws. Like you can see around the front there, the wrap's a little warped. You can see that it's not like, see the wrap's like over the edge of the fender there, so it's like covering the tire. So that's definitely a shame. I don't know if EL even makes funny cars, but the PTC mold's pretty bad. Here you can see more warping and stuff with the, It's definitely cool to get, though these did not sell well. I don't know if they sold well in other people's areas, but in my area, for a while, all I found was like 5 of these everywhere I went on the pegs. I still see a couple of them at stores, especially this one. The Courtney Force one sold a little bit better than the Peak one, but you know, it's something different. I hope that didn't kill it. Like, I don't want to really say it, but I was literally in a Walmart once with somebody looking at the pegs around this time the Wave came out. And it was some, like, old redneck lady who was literally saying, like, I don't want them damn funny cars. I only want the NASCARs. Where's Junior? I'm not even joking. I was literally just like, wow. I just found the, like, internet Dale Jr. fan personified. But at that time, I didn't actually have the funny cars yet, so I'm kind of glad that she didn't want them. Because then I was like, I just immediately scooped them up and went home. So, it's cool. I love the rubber tires. I love we're getting something different. And here we have Courtney Force's Traxxas car, a very, very colorful looking car. The fastest name in radio control. It's one of those things that a lot of people where we weren't sure if we were going to get this car, because, you know, some of these other, if they make some sort of diecast related product, or just like anything collectible like that, sometimes they don't want their cars made by another company, kind of like how we didn't get a Nico Road State car other than a throwback. But this is a very bright and colorful car. Can't really tell that there's not really too many flaws. I mean, same thing around the fenders. They're a little bit, like, warped and bent and such. They actually did paint the little, like, fire extinguishers or whatever. Once again, it has to have the rubber tires. So, you know, pretty nice. It's nice to get something different. But I think it's pretty solid to say. So, let's get these cars back out here. Like I said, this was definitely a pretty solid set of waves. It was definitely a nice step up from the last couple of waves, because if you watch that video, you can tell that those waves really did not do much for me. Like I said, wave 5 was the worst wave of this whole line thus far. Hopefully we never have another wave like that, but some people like wave 6, some people don't. It really just depends on how the paint schemes do, what the paint schemes do for you, you know what I mean? Like, if you like the paint schemes, you're going to like the wave. If you don't like the paint schemes, you're not going to like the wave. But I'm definitely glad we're getting a lot more special paint schemes and stuff, because that's what I want. I want these, like, special paint schemes and, like, secondary paint schemes. I don't want standard diecast, like, standard primary paint schemes really late into the year. Because that was, like, the middle of summer that we were getting, like, Dale Jr.'s standard diecast, and, like, no, just don't do that. Because out of these, there's very few standards. Like, pretty much the only one, I mean, you can sort of consider this a standard, but this is enough of a fancy paint scheme that it's nice, and I definitely won't complain, because that's, you know, it's nice to get a smaller team. McDonald's car is sort of a standard, I guess. Martin Truex Jr.'s past pro shops, but they're, like, good-looking standards, and not just, like, the regular. I don't know. I'm probably just alone on that, but like I said, I really just don't like it. But like I said, they definitely stepped up their wave. This is 2 solid waves, and the last 3 waves we'll take a look at in the next video are fantastic waves. Some of the best waves of the year, most certainly, as far as I'm concerned. So stay tuned for that video. Hope you've been enjoying these NASCAR Authentics videos, and thanks for watching.